Hello everybody, welcome to another tutorial video, and today I will be showing you how to rig your model's head for angle X, Y, and Z. So before we get started, make sure to open up your Live 2D. If you have not do it now, you can do it right now. And then next is to input the file of your model. Just drag and drop into the Live 2D cubism. Okay, so right now that we have input the model into Live 2D cubism, there are a few things that you should know. First of all, the one at the bottom right here, this is called parameters. You're gonna need to rig your model into the parameters so that your model can move smoothly. And then over here, these green dots are called keyforms. So to use the keyforms, basically it's simple. To put it very bluntly, you just click on any layer of your choice, and then you click this or this, or you can manually click the numbers to set a keyform at a specific area. So for example right here, this way you can make sure that when your head turns to 17.5 in the keyform, the head will move maybe somewhere like this, and then this is how it works. This is what keyforms do. It basically saves the thing there. You can think of it like doing an animation. This first one at 0 is the starting point, and the ending point is at 17.5. Or it can be even more to 30 depending on how you rig it. But just remember, every keyform that you set, you need to make sure that you set a movement, set a position of the parts that you want. So for example, don't want this definitely. I want this to be at the end. So at the last point, I want this to be here, for example. And then always make sure that all your keyforms are set, and then from then on things will go by itself. You do have to manually do it for all the layers, whether it's a highlight, head, shadow, or this. So the more layers you separate out, the more detailed it will be. Another thing to take note is that you do not want to have the same you do not want to have too many parameters set for one individual layer. That means, like for example, the face, I do not want the angle X parameter set, and then angle Y parameter set, and angle Z parameter set. I don't want them to set all three parameters under the same layer. Why? Because, for example, if I want this head to move here, okay, wait, hold up, no. For example, if at angle X when it turns 30, I want the head to move here, right? But because you set this layer to so many parameters, it only applies to a condition where at angle X is 30, angle Y is 0, angle Z is 0. But when angle Z goes to 30, this change, which means your work would be more because you have to manually set the keyforms for everything. That is one thing that I learned when I first started rigging. It was a horrible experience. I had to do it all manually, and I got really lazy about it, tired about it, so I restarted the whole thing. If you want this, let's say this face layer to go in a lot of direction, what you can do is use deformers. Deformers can use to group a few layers together so you can move them together, or you can also use deformers to save time. So for example, I can use face this original layer for angle X. So at angle X, this head move here, but I can create a deformer, and I use the deformer right here for angle Y. So I set the keyforms for angle Y, and at angle Y when it's 30, I want it to move up. So what happens? This means that at no matter whether is it 0 or at -30 or 30 in angle X, the head will still go up as you go up the way you want. So that's the power of deformer. It basically separate up. It help you do most of the things like automation process. So make sure, always remember, do not complicate things. Do not use the same layer or the same deformer for too many parameters. One layer or one deformer is only entitled to one parameter unless it is a combined parameter. That means if angle X and angle Y would be combined, which you can click right here. If they are combined, you can use them under the same parameter. So the face layer can be used on angle X and angle Y, but it cannot be on angle Z because the combined layer parameters only work for 2 parameters. So please do take note of that. If you want the angle Z to move, we'll need to use deformers. For angle Z, I'll be showing you the rotation deformer, but we'll get that in the later part of the video. So let's start off with our rigging right now. So first of all, to make things simple, I like to create some deformers so that when I move the parts, it's quite easy. So some standard deformers that you can use are for the eyes, because they need to move together. You don't want the length between the eyes to be too far apart. The mouth can also be together. The eyes can be together. The pupils can be together for the eyeballs, which I will highly recommend. Is really good. The head, don't really touch it. The ears, on the other hand, you can do it, but personally I wouldn't do it. Sometimes I would, sometimes I won't, because depends on the ears, because sometimes I want it to be more detailed, so I just move the layer individually. The eyes, I will group them up together so it can all move together. You can be disorganized if you want, but I would not recommend, because if you are too disorganized, you might be a bit confused, and it might cause you problem in the later part. The face, I always like to move the face together with the hair shadows and the blush and all this. It's just much more convenient later at the part later when you're setting expressions, which I'll make in a separate video for that. The main thing are just the eyes, mouth, ears, and probably actually ears I do move them together. Yeah, ears I like to create a deformer. So I created this deformer. So remember that deformer is it creates an individual group of layers that you selected in it. So it basically just allows you to move a few layers at one go, which is much more convenient in it. So for angle X, let's start off with the face. The face, we're just gonna click this 3 keyforms, so you spread out evenly. And a trick to take note is that you can start off with the right or left. So I like to start off with the right side. So I use my my up, down, left, right keys on my keyboard to move the face, because it's much neater and it will go in a straight line. But it's personal preference. So I like to move it here. There we go. This is one part done. And a trick to use so it can speed up your rigging really quickly and also make it look very balanced, because the left face and the right face are so are mirrored. You can just click this 3 line over here and click reflect motion. reflect horizontally or vertically depending on the angle that you're doing. So in this case, we're doing angle X, so it's just the left, right, so horizontally. And what it does is that when you turn, done. It is done. It may not look like I moved the head much at all, but trust me, later at the part when everything is done, you will see the big difference. Alright, so we got the pupils. Okay, so as I was saying, I forgot to do this at the start, but you got to go to the modeling, texture, edit texture atlas, and then just click automatic layout. For starters, you won't have such a big texture size, so yours might be smaller. And if it is smaller, you probably have to shrink your parts, your layers. But if you're on the paid version, you can just go to texture, change texture size, and I usually use 8192px because it's always more than enough. And then just click automatic layout. And if you see any layers like this right here, you can just double click it because they're not showing right now, so they won't put it inside. But before you export your model later, you will want to come back here and just check that all the texture are in. This will allow you to see your model like this when you are using VTube Studio. So it's very, very important. Another thing to take note is for me just now I didn't do it, but you can click Control A, which basically highlights all the parts or layers, and then click this automatic mesh generator. I usually use heavy because it allows me to be more allow me to do more. So you can click little or heavy, it's your choice, any of it is fine. But basically what it does is it creates all these joints which you can just drag and basically pull your mesh around. Those will come in very handy at a later part depending on what you're doing. And do take note, those layers that are not shown yet, like this one, the tiers, they're not shown yet, so their mesh is not they do not have the automatic mesh generator yet, so you have to do that later on when you are rigging, or you can do it now, which sometimes I wait to the later part to do it. Right, carry on with the video. Gonna turn. Our head is pretty much there, not the best yet, but don't worry, don't freak out, always remember, don't freak out, because the head is not perfect. We want the head to be able to do more, so you have to do it slowly. Take your time, don't rush it. This is very important because if you mess it up, when you want to try and come back to fix it, it might be a bit difficult. Also do remember that when you created this automatic mesh generator, it allows you to pull your mesh and drag your mesh around much easier. So always remember, go to automatic mesh generator, create an automatic mesh, create a mesh for all your layers first before you continue with doing the creating of deformers and breaking it into your keyforms. so now that we're done with this, we want to do angle Z. So to do angle Z is even easier. I'm going to teach you something called rotation deformer. Use that, you basically just come here, see, and for every layers that you used for your model, to rig your angle X and Y, you can use back the same deformer to start with the rotation deformer. So basically, right now we have the face that we used. I can combine with, okay, you do one at a time for one deformer, so you just click one deformer that you use. Come here, rotation deformer, boom, it's done. And if you want to position it, you just hold down Control, and you click this, drag the chin right here. This is where the rotation will be at. Think about like in real life how you rotate or tilt your head. There is one point at your neck that does this the rotation. So just pull it to that part, and then same thing, you just click the 3 keyframes, drag it to 30, rotate to how much you want. So for me, I want to rotate it to maybe 10 degrees. And it's okay if you can't get it right, you can always come here to click 10 and it will be done. And then same thing, use reflect motion, but this time remember it's horizontally. And there you go, it will be done for you. Do this for the rest of your the model of the layers. Like this. And then if you are on the left side, then you have to go negative. If you're on the right side, you can go positive. Just remember that. So I'm on the right side, so I'm gonna go positive. Black motion. So it should move. But then don't forget, tilting is one thing, but when you're tilting the head, some of the things need to move as well. So the ears, you see there's gap. You can press this once and then use your arrow key. So I'm pressing left right now to position it the center. And same thing, reflect motion, just like so. Normal, so for mouth rotation, mouth. This, select 10, and then shift this a little bit if you want to. And personally for me, because like it's the mouth, I want to put it at the center. There we go. That reflect motion. Okay, now when you reflect motion, you may be it may be bad because right. I'm pressing Control Z right now because I messed up. I forgot the position. So remember the position first. So I do it. So about there. This. Rotate to 10 degrees. Shift this down. Like motion. There you go. For the nose, pop deformer, rotation. It's already in the center, so I don't need to do anything. Click 3 keyframes, 10 degrees. Move the part that you want, which is here, and then black motion. Boom, there you go. Eyes thing, which this is the easiest part and it's probably my favorite time. Okay, so eye rotation, this comes 10 degrees. move down. I use this invisible line, a faded line as a gauge, so I'll try to position them together and reflect motion. So check. Okay, there you go. Come here, do the same thing, warp deformer for the bank, rotation deformer. This, and they're already in the center, so it's okay. 10 degrees. Shift down. Try to match this line. Out the center, reflect motion. There you go. Last thing, the ears are very important. You can use for both because I use this for individual. If they're on individual, they don't use this. They don't share anything in common for both of the deformers. They don't share any common layers. You can just do both at once. And forms 10 degrees. Shift is to the center over here. The center. I position this at the center of this black dot. Black motion. Black motion. Boom. Boom. Like that. Back hair. We're going to use swap deform back hair. Back hair rotation. 3 keyforms. 10 degrees. Shift down. Match with this. There you go. Okay, so we got a problem here because this part, the hair wasn't that nice. I'm gonna shift out a little. So sometimes if you're doing too fast, you mess up. And you off. Like motion, just like that. And there you go. Angle X, angle Y, and angle Z are all completed. So to do a check, you can go to modeling, open physics, and just check. They move. Yep, they move together. Angle X and Y is positive. Yeah. Yep, well, this is angle Z. See, it works. You don't need to manually do anything. So there you go. That is all for the head movement. Thank you guys for watching, and in the next tutorial video I'll be showing you how to do the eyes smile and eyes open. Anyways, on that note, I hope you guys learned how to rig the head. Have fun rigging the head, rigging your model, and as always, make sure to subscribe if you want to follow more on my rigging tutorials, and do give this video a like if you find this video helpful. If you have any inquiries, if you have anything that you're unsure, do leave a comment and I will reply to you the moment I see your comments straight away. On that note, I hope you guys have a great day. Yeah, bye. On that note, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.